Alright, so we will be talking about how to create a video brief that makes your ad creation process faster and more efficient. So how many times have you experienced while you are creating some ads that actually it takes quite a lot of time and a lot of effort and a lot of money to create these ads? What if there is a way to create these ads faster and more efficient? So in this video, I'm gonna explain how to create a video brief that helps you with that. Now, before I go into how to create this, I wanna say that a lot of e-commerce owners and advertisers and the marketers are making this huge mistake. They are randomly creating ads without a plan, without a blueprint, without a structure in kind of behind that. So if we are thinking about from the business perspective, and this is what I found, every single business that has a lot of success and it's growing and it's scalable, they work only and only based on data. So this ad creation, these video briefs that I'm about to show you, they are always and always backed up with data. So meaning is that when I say data, that means what are the customer's questions? What are the customer's wishes? What are the customer's concerns about your product? So, of course, we also look at what kind of ads our competitors are running, but pretty much we want to have our main kind of unique selling point in our ad. That is why, without knowing your client, it is quite impossible to create compelling videos and images. So what I'm about to show you doesn't necessarily mean that it's only for videos. You could still utilize for images. The moment when you have a video brief or an image brief, then it is way easier for your creative team, or even for you if you're creating these ads by yourself, to utilize your time in a much more efficient way. And that leads to a better outcome, because every single party understands how that ad should look like. Now, let's go into the how-to. I'm gonna show you step by step how I do that. And I structured already in a way how I create these video briefs and how I communicate with my clients. If you're doing that by yourself, you could still follow this kind of structure. And then it is much easier for you because you're creating that video brief, and then it is like very easy for you to just go and implement. If you work for a client, then in that case, you just need one more step to do, which is communicating that video brief with a creative team or with a business owner. So there is not that much difference. It is simply how you implement this video or image brief. So usually what I use for my business with my clients is Canva. It is a tool that you could edit images, videos, but I also use for creating video and image briefs. There are many tools you could utilize for creating these blueprints, but just what I've seen that is working much better for my business is Canva, because it's very easy to use. So this is how it looks like. First of all, I am attaching like a video or an image example that we want to iterate and that we want to create for our business. Now, it might be our own ad, or it might be an ad from one of our competitors. So first of all, I am listing out all the technical part. I've made this mistake before and I wanted to kind of avoid this mistake. So when we give, for example, a video brief for a content creator who is going to create a user-generated content, I have not mentioned in my first ventures about the technical part. And I've seen those videos were recorded horribly. Like the video was, the light was very bad, the sound was horrible, and just because of those technical issues, we weren't able to run those ads. And that led to a lot of wasted time and a lot of wasted money. So that's why it is important, first of all, to tackle every single detail, even the technical part, even though you're thinking that it is very simple and it is self-explanatory, and if that person knows what he is doing or she is doing, then she doesn't need that information. No, I wanted to make sure that you have all the information in place. So If we are recording a user-generated content, I will give them like the camera settings, so 1080 HD, 60 FPS with HDR turned off. Also, I'm gonna talk about the lighting, because the lighting is one of the most important things when it comes to this technical environment. So natural and in front of a window. I've seen using like these scenarios where the content creator is using like, you know, the same camera, but the lighting is bad and the quality of that video is horrible. We're using like the light in the wrong way. So it is important to use ideally in front of a window, so we could have a natural lighting. And for the environment, we want to make sure that it is distraction free. I've seen these ads out there that were targeting me, and those ads like were selling a very good offer. The offer was simply amazing. I would be even like willing to buy that product because I was that target market for them. However, the background that they were using was quite a distraction for me. And because of it, I was paying attention much more to the background and not to the product. Now, from the marketer perspective, I also looked at the product. However, like other people who look at that product from the consumer perspective, they will pay attention much more to the background. And in that case, the hero, the product which we want to promote and we want to sell, is going to be out of their mind. So they will not pay attention to that, and they will, you know, skip that ad, because this is like the background, okay, so like looks cool, but you know, it just doesn't appeal to my needs as a customer. So at the end of the day, we want to make sure that it talks to the customer's needs, questions, and wishes. For the frame, what ideally would be is to use like a tripod, so you could have this consistent and steady and seamless transitions if you have videos with different like parts or different frames. And for the person or for the actor that you are using, this is extremely important. That's why you have to make your research, is to make sure that that person knows what he or she is doing. Because otherwise, you could have the best video brief in place. You could have the best kind of structure that you've created. If that person or if the actor doesn't know how to articulate the true value of your product or doesn't have authentic emotions, none of those, listen to me, none of those will work. So it is important to make your research and know with who you are working. Now, to mention one more thing, almost I forgot to say, this video example that I put here together, this is for the content creator, this is for the video editor to understand how, like, just an overview of how that ad should look like. It is not elaborated very well, so that's why I'm gonna talk much more about that in just a bit. Because if you're just giving them the video or the image example without explaining or without like breaking it down, that will not be enough. So now here I break down this video by scenes and I explain how long they should be and what we have to include in those videos. So for the first scene, we could see that, you know, I put here that it has to be at the maximum 3 seconds, and this has to be what we call an ad hook. So the creator, and also like I explain them what the creator has to do. The creator will record a quick video showcasing the product design. This pretty much is going to be our hook, the product design. Now, as you can see, this is not like a lot of information here, but just for this scene, it is just enough. So you have to find this balance. If I said that, you know, you have to give them like every single detail and explain about it, every single scene, that doesn't necessarily mean that you have to like talk about every single millisecond. No, it's not about that. It is about making it concise enough so then the creator and the video editor can understand how that video or image has to look like. I also put like here a postscriptum that the text will be edited by the editor. So, you know, in this case, we don't have any confusions that, you know, maybe the video like creator has to put this text or things like that. No, then afterwards the video editor will see that, and then he or she will add that to that video. If you're doing that by yourself, then you could, again, put it here and know what kind of text. So then afterwards it is again easier for you to edit that video as well. I didn't put here the text because this is just an example, but actually I will add also the exact text that we want to add here. However, for the video script, I'm gonna just talk a little bit later. I do not give them a word-by-word script for the video creator. If we are talking about like the text overlays, the things that we have on the video itself or on the image itself, in that case, this is where I will help them. This is where I will create those exact copies that we need. For the video script, on the other hand, there is a place where I do not give a word-by-word script, because I found and I've seen from my experience that the content creator cannot really like articulate that message in a very good way, and it doesn't look very authentic. So, and I said in the beginning of this video that it is important for the content creator to be extremely authentic and not sound like an ad. So here is already the place where I will give them some kind of direction to the video creator. So for the second scene, again, now for this example, we have a scene or a frame where we introduce the product. So we give them a 2 to 4 seconds for the video creator to record this video, and then I give them also some specific words to use. Now notice, I do not give them a video like a word-by-word script, but I give them some kind of words, some kind of direction, so then he or she can record this in a much efficient way. And there is also an important aspect here. These words, they are carefully chosen. What do I mean by this? So these words that you see here, this is just an example, but pretty much these words, they are used by our ideal client. We've made our research, right? That's why I said it is important to know your client. We made our research and we've noticed that they are using these words a lot. And this research we've made based on our data, based on how people interact, based on surveys, based on how they like talk to a business owner in the DM, via email, and then we incorporated this in in our video. If you do not have this data, then in that case, what I would recommend is looking at the reviews from, your competitors, what people like, what their ideal client or their customers say about their product. Look at their words they are using. If they are using, I don't know, let's say timeless jewelry, make sure that you use also the same word. Do not try to reinvent the wheel. Simply use exactly the same word, because those are the words they are using to make the decision. These are the words that compel them. So that is why it is important to use the exact words. And in that case, you are going to talk to that side of the brain where they will be more likely to make that incentive, like to make that, to take action much faster. I hope it makes sense. Now let's go to the third scene. And at the third scene, here I give them like already a much longer period of time to talk about our product. Now, depending on how your video should look like, the scripts, the blueprint that you're using for that video, it depends the longevity. So for this scene, because we want to explain here more about the unique selling points, the benefits and the emotional appeal of why people would buy this product, I want to make sure that I give enough time for the creator to record this frame. So it's important to keep that in mind, to know for every single scene how much time we need to give for the video creator on average to record that scene, because otherwise it is, if we're trying to speed it up, it will look not that authentic. So I put again here together some words for the creator to use, and what I said and what I've mentioned in the previous slide, it applies to this slide as well. We want to use words that our client is using. Also, for just to keep the viewer watch the entire video, because people have shorter and shorter attention span. Especially if you're running ads on a TikTok, where the attention span is even much shorter than on Facebook, on Instagram, or on YouTube. So it's important to have these B-roll scenes. These are pretty much like some kind of videos that you are using as an overlay while the creator is still talking about that product. So what I would recommend for the B-rolls is showcasing some visuals about what the creator is explaining. So let's just say, for example, the creator is talking about this, I don't know, let's say this jewelry are waterproof. In that case, I'm gonna make sure for the B-roll, we're gonna have a scene with the jewelry being used in under the water, and showing that, you know, it doesn't tarnish, it looks the same. So in that case, we are handling the customer's objections while the creator is still talking about the unique selling points of a product, or some kind of benefit, some kind of emotional appeal. If let's take an example about like the emotional appeal. Let's say that we say this jacket is going to make you much more confident. All right, so for this as a visual, what we could show is a man walking down the street very confident, wearing that jacket. So I hope it makes sense. And essentially, we just need to make sure that from the visual side, we also tackle that part, because human beings are visual creators. We are more likely to take action when we see that visually. We trust more that brand when we could see clearly that the product they say that it does, actually it does in the real life. So next, for the fourth scene here, we have already like the use case. So as you can see, what I'm doing is I break down every single part of that video and I explain what the creator has to do based on this scene. So it has a very clear understanding about what that video should look like, because we have this example and I give them some specific words to use. That's pretty much how a video brief has to look like. You don't want to be vague, you want to be super concise and tell them the words, tell them what they have to do in those scenes. I haven't really put here some kind of actions they have to do, because for this example, the person is just talking to the camera, it's just a selfie video. For other examples, if we want to make our video a little bit more complex, and with different scenes, different actions, I'll make sure I will add that on top of that. And the last scene, also the call to action. This is pretty much just like a place where the editor is going to tackle. So essentially that was how to create video briefs that make your ad creation process faster and much more efficient. And until then, keep growing your business.